Okay, I look totally ridiculous. I look like Doc from Back to the Future, but there's a very good reason for that. I want to show something extremely awesome today. It's been around for a couple of years. I just discovered it recently, and as some of my friends and family can tell you, I've been pretty obsessed with it. It's the coolest experience in VR I've ever had. I've been in the VR space for about 5 years. I'm not an expert by any means, but I've had a PlayStation VR, PlayStation VR 2. I have now on the PS5. I have this MetaQuest Pro, or not Pro, MetaQuest 2, Oculus Quest 2. This is by far the coolest VR experience I've ever had. And it's one of those experiences that's more than just like, oh, this is a great VR game. This, to me, is what VR is truly meant to do. This is like tapping into the full potential of VR in my mind and the full potential of where the future could go. You want some Ready Player One stuff? This is it. So without further ado, let me explain what this is. It's called EmuVR. That's EmuVR. It's a third-party app. So this screen we're looking at right here is my desktop. I've connected my Quest 2 wirelessly to my PC, which is a very standard, ordinary PC, by the way. This is not a high-end gaming PC at all. And it does just fine. Connected this wirelessly to the PC, and we're going to run a third-party app. EmuVR is not on the store. It's developed by an independent, it's free. It's a free app. So it's developed by independent developers. And it's called EmuVR because this revolves around emulation, meaning playing old-style, retro video games. A lot of us have done this before. You go on your PC, you download ROMs for Super Mario Bros. 3 on the regular Nintendo, or your favorite Super Nintendo game, or even N64 game, or whatever, and you sit there on your PC and play it, right? No more. This is the best way to experience classic games. This is a time machine. It lets you recreate an 80s or 90s bedroom of your childhood. You can hang up all the posters that you want to hang up that you had in your real bedroom. As you'll see, I've put the bed sheets I actually had in my room as a kid on my bed, and I kind of pretty closely recreated what my old room when I was a kid in the early 90s felt like. And in that environment, we jump in and we play some old school video games. Let me show you what I mean so I can stop looking so freaking ridiculous. All right. So here we are. So you're looking, as you can tell, at my computer monitor. This game runs off of the computer, again, not in the Quest or your headset. So the game itself, you download files from their website. If you just type in EmuVR on Google, one of the first things that comes up will be their site and their Wikipedia, which has like an installation guide. And you just follow it. Just follow it step by step. I am not a computer expert by any means. As I mentioned, this is not a high-end PC by any means. I don't even game on this PC. It's literally just for like internet and documents. But it works great. So it'll guide you through what to do. But essentially, this is what it'll look like. You'll have an EmuVR file saved on your computer wherever you want to drop it. And there's all these folders that come with it automatically. The game ROMs that you'll play inside the room, you just drop into this games folder. In fact, I'll try and let's open it up. There's music and there's videos as well, but you'll see I have the Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, PlayStation, and PlayStation 2 right now. And then in this custom is where you drop all the posters and, floor tiles or bed sheets or anything else you want. And I'll show you that here in a minute as well. So let's boot it up and check it out. I'm on an Oculus, so you notice there's a few different boot up applications depending on what headset you're using. So I'm going to boot up the Oculus one, just like this. And here we go. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. Are we live? Yes. I had to peek under my headset to make sure I could see it. Yes. We are in my room. Let me go to the door, and we'll start at the door. This is so cool. I never get over how cool this is. Okay. So this is the room I've created. Everything you see in here pretty much is customized by me. I Googled most of these pictures that are on the wall. So unfortunately right now there's only this one standard room. Like you can't design the room like yours was back in the day as far as like where the walls and stuff are. But I mean everything on it is tailored and it's so cool. It really just recaptures the nostalgia. Like I knew this would be cool, but I did not expect the nostalgia to hit me so hard. So it's using real time, a real clock right now. As you can see, that is not the real time, but it is night. It is evening right now in real life. Let me, okay, there we go. So in real life, it's a little past 7:30, and you can see it's nighttime outside. It's summertime. You can change the season and stuff outside, but you can also customize what time you want the day. So you can see outside, all the stars moving. I need to remember to not whip my head around so fast because it probably is nauseating for anyone watching on a flat screen. But yeah, I mean, and you can see it uses real-time lighting engine as well. Like the reflections, there's a tree outside, right there, and when the light is just right coming through those branches, you'll see all the reflections in real time. It's super cool. I know that's a small detail. I love that kind of stuff. So, you also have a light switch. Yoink. Right? Super cool. While the lights are off, let me show you, while we're talking about the lighting engine that's built into this application, look at this. Like it lights up the room realistically based on the static from the TV. All of the functions on the TV are they're functional like this, the volume. Same with this TV. Let's turn this guy on. And by the way, look at the detail on the screen. You can see like smudges and scratches on the screen. So let's pop that on. If that's not retro, I don't know what is. So cool. I had a TV like very similar to this. So I've got 3 in my room right now, and there's a ton you can just pull in from a menu as many assets as you want and put them wherever you want. So this is how I've arranged things. As you can see, I've got my PlayStation 1. Let me turn the light on. I've got my PS1 on the chair here. I've got a VCR, which we'll look at. My PlayStation 2, and my NES and SNES on the old TV here. And I've got a Japanese SNES, because why not? And the gray light gun. I have the orange one here, the classic one. And yes, these are fully functional for games like Duck Hunt. Super cool. But yeah, what I love is just all the little details, like all the little imperfections and smudges on the systems and on the screens and even on the discs and stuff, which we'll look at. But let's take a look at the room. So you've got my my wall of movies. You've got Willow, Back to the Future, some Ninja Turtles, Neverending Story, Mario. I loved X-Men growing up with my brother, so you got to have Rogue up there, of course. I literally had this Game Boy poster in my room growing up, and I love that this image I found has the actual like creases, like the poster creases. Super cool. Fire and Ice, classic movie from the 80s. Ghostbusters, gotta have Ghostbusters. And speaking of Ghostbusters, check this out. This flashlight actually works. Look at that. That's so cool. So cool. Anyway. Alright. Yeah, it comes with a lot of these preloaded assets. You've got like snacks and drinks and stuff. And they're pretty detailed, which is cool. The backpack comes with it, the shoes and the skateboard, which by the way has real physics. It's pretty sweet. Yoink. I love how my carpet is like glass. You can actually adjust the properties of your carpet so it's not so sheeny like mine is, but I haven't messed with that yet. But I mean, like, look at the details on these like assets. They're super cool. I don't know why my hand's so shaky right now, but yeah. So anyway, you got my bed sheets. I mentioned these were actually my bed sheets growing up. Like I had this exact same set, and somehow I found it on Google, and there's my bed. Pretty freaking awesome. I did not have this pillow, though I wish I did. These are more posters that I actually had. Me and my brothers got them out of Nintendo Power magazines, and we had them for years. Metallica I got into in high school, but these posters are still historically accurate because they existed at the time this room is based off of. I was a huge Power Rangers kid. Got some other stuff from later in my life that I love. Chrono Trigger, King's Quest. I still have this poster in my closet today. I kept it all through the years. This Lord of the Rings poster. I mean, it's just crazy. The level of detail is absolutely nuts. I don't know what this design is, but I know y'all know it. We all saw this design growing up on everything. Anyway, pretty darn sweet. So let's get to the good stuff. Oh, we got to look at a couple more things. Who grew up with Book It? Let me know if you got your personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut for reading the books. Final Fantasy IX, my favorite game of all time. I was subscribed to PlayStation Magazine for years, so that's nostalgic. Virtual Boy. I can't believe I found this. This is insane. These Ninja Turtles pies they had in the 90s, me and my brothers would walk down to the gas station and buy these because they came with a trading card. Somebody posted online the wrappers, so I was like, those are going on the dresser for sure. And then these two. We had a lot of these Happy Meal toys. This is when Super Mario Brothers 3 came out, obviously. But we had this one. I want to say we had the Goomba. Anyway, that was awesome to find. Some Blockbuster stuff. Like, I just tried to get all the retro stuff up. Even these, like, really cheesy pinup girls. I'm like, that's so 90s and disgusting with, like, the colors. I'm like, I have to have that. Iron Maiden. All right, so let's get to the games. Check this out. The main event, I mean, this is really cool. The nostalgia is so cool. But the games are what it's all about, and this is where it counts. This is so incredible. I'm going to peek under my headset. It looks like I'm kind of going all over in the camera, so I apologize, but you're not watching me. Before we get to the games real quick, this is a generic console that they have. Any console that is emulated in this program that they don't have a model for, like these, uses this generic one here. It's just, and it'll just say what it is. So like the Dreamcast you can emulate, Game Boy you can emulate, what else? Ataris, but those are all just going to show like with this console basically. So this specific one is a music cassette tape player. So these don't look like cassettes, but you can see we got some good 90s vibes going. Ace of Base. Drop it in. Let's get some 90s vibes going while we look through the room. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. That's so bad. All right. So here's all the cassettes. I just dropped in a bunch of classic music. Got my NES collection. Stuff like Contra. And yeah, look at the imperfections in like the sticker and the plastic of the cartridge. Blaster Master, Final Fantasy, all three Marios. Even King's Quest, which is on the wall over there. You know, the Impossible Ninja Turtles game. We got it all here. Zelda. Nobody knows what this game is. Snake Rattle and Roll. One of my good friends introduced this to me as a kid, and we played it all the time. So if you know what this is, kudos to you. Up here we've got the Super Nintendo. Final Fantasy 2, 3, Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, all the classics. Right? NBA Jam. Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. I mean, I've just scratched the surface, obviously. I just grabbed the first ones that came to my mind, but like the possibilities are endless. There's even ones like this or this that never came out in the United States, and I've been playing them in Japanese. I grabbed those as well. Pretty awesome. So let's try a game. And by the way, yeah, I mentioned the VCR. Look at this. Christmas Morning, 1989. This is one of my home movies. My birthday in 1990. I was turning 5. Let me turn this music off. All right. Yes, enough is enough. Okay, so we'll dive into the games. There's so much to show. This is the coolest thing ever. I got some old cartoons over here, some old movies, The Dark Crystal, Shaolin Temple from 1982. Obviously this one's newer. It's from 2007, but you get the point. So you can see the PlayStation 1 is hooked up right now. You actually have to disconnect your devices and plug in the new one. I'm going to go through the wall here so I can find the VCR's cords. Here they are. Okay. So the VCR is plugged in now. Look at this. Colby's birthday, 1990. Look at this. This is crazy. There I am. I mean, this is just crazy. When I put this VHS tape on to see if it worked the first time, I was just sort of dumbstruck. I was like, I am back in time right now. I mean, it's so crazy. Look at that. All right, that's enough of me. Let's get some games. But you get the picture how just freaking nuts this is. We'll leave this one for now. Let's do a classic. Let's do Super Mario Bros. 3. So right now the Super Nintendo's hooked up. So I got to hook up the regular Nintendo. Just like that. All of it is, you have to really, activate it real time. Put the game in. Push it in. Push the power. Crazy. Now let's get the full effect here. Sleepover time. Look at that. That is beautiful. That's so awesome. Never gets old. So what you do is typically you can use these Quest controllers. I don't even know where I'm facing. You can use these Quest controllers to play the game. But it's very awkward. Obviously you've got like only one set of triggers, unlike most systems where you have two. All the face buttons are they're separated between two controllers, so that's not normal. So it's very awkward. But let me show you this really quick. A lot of you have seen these. I'm kind of half wearing my headset. These 8BitDo controllers. 8BitDo is the brand that makes these. This is like $30 on Amazon. It's got two triggers on the top, so it could work with like a PlayStation format. It's got analog sticks. They click in for R3 and L3. So this is literally plug and play. I just plugged it into my USB and away I go. So this was a game changer for playing ROMs in this application. But for now, just for time's sake and for demonstration's sake, whoop, my bad. Enabled pass-through. There we go. Okay. So we got Mario 3. So typically, if you didn't have one of those controllers, you point your controller at it with the trigger, and you press a button, and you're locked in. Now I can't move with the sticks around the room, and I'm locked into the TV, and my controllers now control the TV. Look at that. Hey! Look how cool that is. Right? So cool. This is very hard to control, as I mentioned. But you get the point. And while it's going, I can just click in both sticks and walk away. So cool. So that's kind of how the games work. Let's put Mario back. Ooh, there we go. Let's show a Super Nintendo game really quick. We'll do Mega Man X. I've got to plug in the Super real quick. If this isn't like the 90s, I don't know what is. You've got to unplug everything every time. All right. Mega Man X, ready to go. Just like that. Oh, that's so cool. So I'll literally just pull up a chair, and this is how I've been playing games the last week or so in here. I'll just grab a soda in real life and some snacks, and I'll just sit here in the dark and play in this strangely retro room that's lost to time. It's just crazy. All right, I'm kind of going long here. I could look at this all day. Let me show you a PlayStation game. Here's my PlayStation collection. I've got Final Fantasy IX, again, my favorite game of all time. I only have one PlayStation 2 game right now. I loved this as a kid. And the discs have like smudges and scratches and stuff on them. It's super cool. I mean, I would never treat my discs that way, just saying. But Alundra, Castlevania, Vagrant Story, Resident Evil 2, lots of good ones. Again, some that never came out in the US, so that's cool. But I have been playing Vagrant Story. What's a good one to show? We'll do like, I don't know. We'll do Resident Evil, because I did start that the other night. But look at this. Click. Boom. Gotta plug the PlayStation in. Here we go. Ready for the nostalgia wave? Yeah. Now this is crazy. This is what blew my mind. If you get close to this TV, you can actually see how well it's emulated. Look at the pixels. you can see the individual pixels. Like the original like RGB colors, like the red, yellow, white, like if you get close enough, you can see them in the pixel. How wild is that? Let's wait till an actual image is on the screen. Like, that's crazy. I hurt my eyes. I don't have my glasses on under here. There it is. Bring back memories. Oh. And look, if you stop if you open the disc tray, look, it's still spinning. So it's such a cool touch. Yeah, I mean, my mind is blown. Some people might see this and be like, I don't get why this is so special, but to me, like, this is a game changer. No pun intended. I guess lastly, real quick, I'll show the PlayStation 2. Hook up the cords. Nope. I'm hitting stuff in real life. Forgive me. There we go. Goodness. I'm slamming into stuff in real life. Okay. The cord's all stretched. That's funny. But I mean, it opens up just like the real one would. Awesome. So this is EmuVR. The coolest thing about it that I've only been able to experiment with one of my buddies a little bit is you can actually visit each other's rooms through this net play option right here. You can give each other your address, basically. It's like a unique code for your room. There are some hoops definitely to jump through to get this working. We had to learn some new things about Wi-Fi routers and all kinds of stuff, but if you're even remotely competent, you can do it. I'm super incompetent with stuff like this, and with a little Googling and stuff, I figured it out. But you can join each other's rooms and play these games together, like on your TV, like sleepover all over again. It's so crazy. And this is how this looks, by the way. Once you drop systems or game ROMs into those folders I showed you at the beginning, they populate into here. And then you can just look at them in your library and be like, yep, there's Zelda I just added, and you just pull it out, and you can add it to your shelf. So, very easy to use, and the systems work the same way. They're all lined up here. You can just grab them out and put them where you want them. There's the VCR, all kinds of stuff. And if you look on their website, there's like 50 consoles you can emulate in here. It's pretty much from the Atari, like the beginning video game consoles, all the way up through like the PlayStation 2. So like Xbox and above, you can't really emulate very well yet, but I'm sure that's on the way. So anyway, crazy. This is like the coolest thing I've ever seen, and it's definitely how I've been playing all of my games lately. It's pretty darn awesome. Making a mess here. Mom's gonna get mad at me. Yeah, so that is EmuVR. I was super overjoyed to learn that the 8BitDo external controller worked for it, because my goodness, I did not want to play the games on these crappy controllers. I mean, they're good for VR stuff, but they do not work very well at all for the consoles. So if you're gonna do this, definitely do yourself a favor and invest in one of those controllers. It's gonna save you. Look at the lighting. So cool. All right. Anyway, that's it.